Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. All of you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So it's like meeting too earlier. We just met on Thursday. Is it too boring or is it good to go? Hare Krishna.
Good to go always, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So quickly tell me, what chapter are we going to do today?
Mataji, it is chapter 14th,
Okay.
the modes of material nature.
Yes. And I would like to tell that this particular chapter is so important because we have always done jnana, right? So many things are about jnana and all. Like if you take second chapter, I'm not the body, I'm the soul, is theory, right? We are supposed to do a vinyan that is different, but we don't, because it's very difficult for us to de-link our body and our soul and see things differently. At least I can't. So I'm just talking out of my experience that it's not easy a task to be with. So here, this particular chapter is so important and so useful. And why I'm saying this is because this really enlightens us to see the world. So
Mataji, your video is stuck.
video is?
Your video is stuck. No.
Is it?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Were able
No, I
Okay.
don't think so.
Now it is okay, Mataji.
Yeah,
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Because I didn't know. So you would have thought it's stuck.
It was
Okay, now back to this. So what is happening is this Vijnana. Many times, have you ever come across a situation you feel that this person is too good? Have you ever come across a situation? Too good to be true? No?
Yes, Mataji.
Huh. And have you ever come across a situation where you feel, oh my God, I'm doing so much for this person. I'm so sweet to this person, but this person is bad. Have you ever come across this person?
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
We've experienced all this, right? And we've always had this question from our childhood, why? And this has not been answered, but I can assure you that Krishna has answered and will remove this question from all our minds, because this one really answered two relationships. I've done relationships books, right? Management books many times. We also have done organization behavior, but none of this book actually could give me answer as to why people's behavior was different, right? So, I have this fantasy. I'm not a book reader. So when I have that little time to read, I will touch some very deep psychology book or something, but nowhere I could get an answer. And I'm sure there will be many who are like me, who would have done little homework here and there and research. And just wait and watch and wait till the chapter ends, which is not today, but tomorrow end, and you'll really find answers. So until then, let's all start our journey. We are now setting the mood that we are right now in the material world and we are seeing a lot of people, right? So set your mood that you're in one very crowded set of people and you're meeting a lot of people. In real life, we are, but we compartmentalize. But now just imagine all of them at one shot we are going to meet, and that's what this journey is going to take. And before we start, let's start off with Mangalacharan. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Shri Ajnanattimurandasya Jnananjala Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Haripriye Vancha Kalpadarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, all of you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mohandas Prabhu. Okay, this is one chapter and where, I cannot stop talking about at least one line of this chapter in every chapter. Likewise, this is one chapter which you will not be without even for a single day. Even if a person is an atheist, right, he will experience this chapter, right? So this knowingly or unknowingly. So we'll see what in this chapter. For that, let's pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda. Shri Radha Govinda. Somebody's Bluetooth is on. Please switch on. Okay, just a quick summary of 13th chapter and to find out why 14th chapter has come. So the 13th chapter talks about Arjuna's 6 questions. So always Arjuna has doubts. So is he here? What are the 6 questions? He's asking, what is Prakriti? Okay, I should be asking you all. Come on back. What are the 6 questions Arjuna asks? Screen won't move. What are the 6 questions?
Prakriti, Purusha,
Prakriti,
Kshetra.
Purusha,
Prakriti, Purusha,
Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana and Gneyam.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And what do you mean by Prakriti?
Body.
Material nature.
Material nature. Yeah.
Very nice. What Kshetra?
Is
Knower
body.
of the
Kshetra is the body of
Field
body.
of activity.
Okay. And what do you mean by Kshetrajna?
Knower of the body.
Okay, then what is name?
Is
knowledge.
knowledge.
This is
Then what is
know about this body, soul, and super soul.
No, that is Jnanam. I asked what is Niyam. That's why I changed the order.
Understanding Kshetra and Kshetrajna.
That is Nyayam. Whatever you're telling is Nyayam. Jnanam you tell, na? That is the one which you're talking, knowledge. I'm talking about Niyam. Maybe my pronunciation is not clear. It's Niyam. So what is Niyam?
The objective of knowledge.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So objective of knowledge, which is, okay, what is the object of our knowledge?
Knowing about Paramatma.
So the object of knowledge is Paramatma. Right? So that is what is name. And Jnanam, you already are so Jnanis. So all of us have spoken that correctly. So now Purusha, who's a Purusha?
Purusha is the Paramatma.
And
Okay.
soul, right?
Yeah. So Purusha, we are also there. So in this context, they are talking about our mini Purusha. And of course, Paramatma is the Param Purusha. We all know that. But this person, yes, Jiva. And also, this is a very, this was very tough. So I am assuming all of you would have gone back and read and needs multiple readings to really understand. So now why is this conclusion is he says that if you see with Jnana Chakshushu, which means vision of knowledge, you will be able to come out of all this is what he says. So which means when we say come out, it means liberation, right? Default. But currently, we are seeing my visuals behind. Hands are tied. What is tying these hands is what this chapter is all about. So in fact, I normally open with this DP, which virtual I thought, when we start the chapter, I don't want the hand, though we are tied. The moment we open our eyes in the morning, even while we are sleeping, at least in the Bhagavad Gita class, the first 3 minutes, let me have, the war, the battlefield, so that we'll have the 2 heroes picture. But the fact cannot be denied that currently we are all in shackles, right? So 1 to 4 talks about the liberation and conditioning of living entity. 1. And 14.5 to 9 talks about description of, binding of the pure soul. So what binds the pure soul? The pure soul is pure, right? It's in Goloka originally. Then what technique binds? And recognizing the supremacy, which mode is superior? Which mode is powerful? Now I'm going to ask you all, which mode is powerful?
Mode of passion.
Okay, mode of goodness, which is powerful? Any other answers? So
Mode of passion.
Okay, mode of passion is
is
powerful.
binding people.
So somebody is telling goodness, somebody is telling passion. Anybody else? Any votes for mode of ignorance? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Nobody for no votes for ignorance. Okay, let's see, and then we will take a call. I will ask the same question at the end. 14 to 18, actions and death within the modes, and 19 to 27, transcending the 3 modes. Right. So let's start off with 14.1 to 4, the liberation and conditioning of living entities. So what are we talking in this chapter is moksha, how person gets moksha, how he gets liberated, how he gets influenced in the 3 modes. Right? Hare Krishna, as usual, please start reading. And if someone can tell me the picture also, yeah, please go ahead, bro.
The Blessed Lord said, again, I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained to supreme perfection.
Hare Krishna. So this is a picture where Sapta Rishis are coming. So what they're telling is, I am going to declare to you the supreme vision. Right now, he spoke about last time in Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam, Pavitram in the Muttamam. What is it? Supreme knowledge. Here he is telling, I'm going to give you Chakshu, right? I'm going to give you the supreme wisdom. Again, knowledge, right? The best of knowledge. And knowing which all the stages have attained perfection. So why should we know these modes? Right? It is very important that we understand, because he says this will help you to reach a perfection. So knowledge, supreme, he says no other knowledge is greater than the confidential knowledge. That is basically the truth. And here he is giving the wisdom as to how to reach the truth. So that's the link. And why is he wanting us to give? Because we are in the material world. If we do not know, then we won't be able to take. For example, if we are, if I am telling, if I'm not going to tell Mataji for change, let me tell Prabhuji. Okay, so let me tell, Arun Prabhu. Arun Prabhu, today you have to make boha for God. And he says, Mataji, I have never been to the kitchen. I told, okay, no problem. I will give you recipes and I will teach you how to cook. I'm going to give you badam, oil, everything, right? And I give him all ingredients required. And he's also theoretically overnight studied all of it. And then I put him in a room and I give him all the ingredients I promised. Okay. And I give him a fully automated gas stove. And what will happen is Arun has no idea how to switch on the stove. Will the food be ready? Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji.
Why? Because technically food, everything he learned, right? And he is mastered it overnight. We've all helped him. Everything is there. But then why is gas stove theory is required for food? Has Krishna ever told that you should know about gas stove to serve me boha? Does he ever say that? Anywhere in Bhagavad Gita has he told you should know about the stove? No.
No.
But then why do we have to? Why should Arun know?
If he cannot switch on the stove, he cannot
Exactly.
make the dish.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So that's the situation. Now, if we cannot switch off the material world and run away, we won't know, right? So currently we are already confused which mode is dominating, right? So Sham Prabhu is telling that mode of goodness, which is the gold shackle, right? Which is tying the hand. According to Mohandas Prabhu, silver shackle is stronger because passion is tying. Somebody whispered, ignorance, but I don't know why that person who supported ignorance is keeping quiet, but I will support ignorance. So iron shackle is like tying the hand. But irrespective of whichever shackle you are in, and if you're in a jail, it's all the same, right? How does it matter whether you're having a golden door or a silver door or an iron door? Like I just said, I'm going to lock Arun up in a door. Now, how does he care whether it's an iron door or a silver door or a gold door, right? End of the day, he's struggling. Now, you may tell, okay, this is a weaker object and science, I'm not getting into that. Assuming it's very fat and you can't break open, for him, everything is a jail, right? Hare Krishna. On to 14.2. Hare Krishna. Yeah, please go ahead.
By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature, which is like my own nature. Thus, established, one is not born at the time of creation nor disturbed at the time of dissolution. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he's saying that becoming fixed in this knowledge, right? If you know this knowledge, you can, like how I said, if you know how to use your stove, he will be able to cook. So by knowing this knowledge, he will be able to attain Krishna's transcendental nature, right? Which means that 100% quantitatively we can never become, but qualitatively also not 100%, but 78% we can become. So what are the qualities? How many qualities does Krishna have?
64.
64.
Vishnu?
60.
Are amazing, yeah. Shiva?
54.
50.
Decide, no?
55, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Perfect. 55 qualities Shiva has, right? That's why they call, if Krishna is the milk, Shiva is the curd, is what in Brahma Samhita they have said. And that is also the explanation of Achinta Beda, Abeda philosophy, which means they are one and different. Now, curd is from milk, so they are one, but it's different from milk also, right? The property and the qualities are different. But the original will always be the milk. The picture here, can you tell me where is this picture taken? Where is this taken? Switzerland, Delhi?
Ramayana.
Huh? Ramayana, no, Prabhu. Ramayana is also okay, but which area? Where is this? I want the, I don't want the Purana. I want to know the place. Your house, my house, whose house, where, which place? Where is this picture shot? Hare Krishna.
Is Krishna's abode?
Okay, you're close. But Mataji, Krishna has abode, everybody has two hands. How many hands people here are having?
2.
Where 2? Can you see here? One hand is here, one hand is here, one more hand is here. He's holding the club.
Yeah, 4.
4 hands. So this is Vaikuntha. You're right. This is the place where this is the house of Narayana, where Narayana is sitting here and everybody have the 4 hand. It's called the Sarupya Mukti. So Vishnu Dutas also have this Mukti where they have 4 hands, and that's a speciality because they have this particular 4-handed feature, because that's called the Sarupya Mukti. There are 5 types of Mukti. Would anybody know what are the 5 types of Mukti? The last 6 chapters are Jnana, no? So if there is no Jnana in the screen, I will start giving you. Anybody knows? You don't have to. I don't know if I've told you all earlier. Okay, so there are 5 types of liberation. So one liberation is called Sayujya, which we don't consider as liberation because it's merging with God, like Shishupal or the people who are meditating on the Paramatma feature, Ashtanga Yoga. They go and merge with the Brahma Jyoti. Now this is not what we like because it's complete. Krishna consciousness is not inertia, right? Here Brahma Jyoti is inertia, no action. They will just go and sit there and they'll get bored and they will get dropped, right? So this is not accepted. Therefore, what is important? You need to have what's called the, this is not even considered anywhere close to mukti or liberation. So the other 4 types of mukti, one you already saw, which I just told you. What is the mukti which I just told you? Same form.
Sarupya.
Sarupya. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Sarupya, the same form of that. Example, Vishnu Dutas. Even Ajamila got the same form. Now, second one is Sa Lokya, which means same loka you live. Example, all of us. Now, Mataji, first, only thing which is coming in our mind is Goloka. Besides India, the next destination she will talk is only Goloka, right? Whether you show a Ramaloka also, everything comes there. And our Sham Prabhu also very nicely Ramaloka. So why I'm saying is, so these are the various lokas where people will reach. For example, Anuman. Do you think Anuman will enjoy coming to Goloka Vrindavan? He will visit, but will he be happy sitting in Goloka Vrindavan?
No, because
No.
Rama is not there.
Thank you. So Rama has to be there in Vaikuntha. So he goes to Ayodhya, right? So this is the Lokya Mukti. Why I brought it up is there will be someone who will ask, ma'am, what is there? Highest. So everybody will like Goloka. No, we can't say that, right? No, example, Prahlad. Prahlad wants Narsimha, right? Because he wants that form. Everyone has a particular form in mind. He wants Narsimha, right? He wants to sit on the lap of Narsimha. That's his happiness. So he will go to Vaikuntha where Narsimha Dev is there. Next one is now coming to Samipya, right? And Samipya is associate. Example, Arjuna. He's a constant associate. He has to literally hold Krishna. You give him Rupa, he doesn't care. You give him Loka and all, he'll say, forget all this, yeah. I have to be associated with him. I'm not worried about how beautiful I look. I don't care whether I'm rich or wrong. I just want to be an eternal associate. I have to be in a vicinity of 2 meters from Krishna, right? Arjuna. So that is Samipya. Now somebody else will tell Shrishti, opulence, exact opulence. So somebody whose father is a Tata or a Birla, will the son of Tata Birla be a beggar? Will he be a beggar?
No, Mataji.
So Shrishti is, you have the same opulence of that of the destination planet. So that is Srishti. So these are all the various examples of moksha. So when you're having moksha, you start thinking which one you want. Sarupya, because there's no rule. All are great. There's nothing called this is less, that is more, because it depends on what somebody will want to have, right? So that's what matters. Hare Krishna. So 1 and 2 is introduction and glorification of the knowledge and understanding this chapter. Because of that, you achieve liberation, and we saw the type of liberation, knowing which all sages we have attained the perfection. So that we can see. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Hare Krishna.
The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Hare Krishna.
He says the total material substance, right, is called the Brahman. And so he is now talking about the material world. Now Brahman has multiple meanings which we have seen. We've seen Brahma Jyoti, his effulgence is Brahman. We have also seen Lord Brahma is also called Brahman. And we have seen the material, the Buddha, Adi Buddha, right, the material manifestation, everything. So here he is telling that the whole material substance, which is our material world, he is impregnating, and that is the Brahman he is referring to. And because of that, many living beings are coming. Now, did the living being come here only now? No. Living beings came. There are two things. Okay, why did the spiritual, many times this is a question, so I'm giving the answer straight away. Why did the spiritual world come? Why did the material world come? Spiritual world came for happiness of Krishna. How we can't stay in inertia. So God initially came. Nothing was there. And he was also feeling bored. He needs action, right? Only we are there, there will be action. So he created only the spiritual world with lot of living entity. That's why we don't know when he created and when we all came. But what happened is we don't want the spiritual world. We wanted to lord over, right? So we didn't create, but then we wanted the material world created. So spiritual world was created for the sake of Krishna. Material world was created for the sake of us. Otherwise, originally he kept all of us in his house only. But we told, hey, I don't want you. So he is going, but very sweetly he is coming in the form of Paramatma. Right, so this is one. So that is what it says. So he has created this. Now, 14.4 Hare Krishna. Sarva yonishi kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti teha tasham brahma mahad yonir bija pradapita. Hare Krishna.
It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, that I am the seed-giving father. Hare Krishna.
Bija, Pita. Bija means seed, Pita means father. All of you know Pita word, I think. You should understand that all species. So how many species are there?
8.4 million.
8.4
Exactly. So
million.
many species are there, and it is made possible by birth, only by through his, and he's the only father, right? And he doesn't need Lakshmi Devi to impregnate us. Just by his glance, he can impregnate, right? So that's the speciality. How soul comes in into the material world and is placed within the modes of nature. So material nature is the mother, right? So we know Maya Devi is the mother logically, supplying living entities with the body. So based on your desire, you get a body. Of course, you need credits also. So based on that, so you have here this Vishnu, and what is this Vishnu called? In the casual or Karna ocean, what is the name of this? Thank you so much. Karno Dakshai Vishnu, right? And he glances over this material world, and we have inside this universe, you have Garbo Dakshai Vishnu, right? And from his stomach only Brahma is coming. And from there you have various Vishnus which are coming up. So that's a speciality. Now we have Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, right? We have three Vishnus. Now we all know Shiva, we all know Brahma. This Vishnu, whom we talk about as the, the Purusha Avatar. Who is this Vishnu? Purusha Avatar.
It's Mahavishnu.
No, Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. Thank you so much. Because Shiro Dakshai Vishnu is the Vishnu who is a part of the Purusha Avatar. Now, when Brahma is not, a competent Brahma is not available, right? We also have seen, right, when Sun God is not there, all these are posts. And if Sun God is not there, they will, the Narayana comes as sun, and that time he is called Surya Narayana, right? So you'd have heard of Surya Narayana. That is only when Narayana himself comes in the form of sun god due to short staff. So he also gets short staff, but there the staff is not in terms of people, but in terms of talent. So here what is happening here also is very similar, right? So here we have, Surya Dev, right? In the same way, where there is shortage of Brahma, which Vishnu will come in the place of Brahma? Who has to play the role? Thank you so much. That was very nice. Garbhodaksha Vishnu. It's like this. Now the mother is put her daughter in charge, let's say, of cleaning one room. But if the daughter is not doing, what happens? Mother has to take that role. No, same way. Brahma, he has to be coming out from Garbhodaksha. But if Garbhodaksha Vishnu cannot find Brahma, he himself takes that position of Brahma, right? So this is what it is. He puts his potent glance and thus impregnates a material nature. Hare Krishna. And then if you see here, from here only, can you see his pores? All these jivas are coming. So there are two tattvas here. One is the Vishnu tattva, and these jivas are coming, jiva tattva. Technically, this map is so important because 4 tattvas are there. But already I gave you a lot of jnana, so I will try and reduce and give some space and come back to this. So one is Vishnu tattva, another one is jiva tattva. Now 14.529. Sorry. Description of binding of the pure soul by the 3 modes. He is so pure. We are in the spiritual world. Now who brought us here? Come on, that's what is going to be addressed now on. Hare Krishna. Sattvam rajastama iti puna prakritir sambhavaha nibandhanti mahabaho dehi dehinam avyayam. Hare Krishna.
Material nature consists of the 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the living entity comes in contact with the nature, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
So beautiful. So he says the material nature is consisting of 3 modes, right? That is goodness, passion, and ignorance, which we all agree. But the moment he comes in contact, so basically the soul is very pure, right? The moment you are in contact, then you become dirty. It's just like the water from the clouds is very pure, right? You go and capture it right there, it's fine. But then when it gets down below the ozone, when it comes to the dust, and when it comes on the land, and then when it falls into the land, then it becomes dusty, right? So it's the same water, rainwater, but if it falls on the mud, can we just take it and drink? We may purify it. I'm not telling that, but can you drink it as it is? Can you just take it from the floor, just remove the mud and drink the water? You'll drink it? I think Hare Krishna, we have a lot of Krishna. No. So that's the situation. So therefore, we cannot drink that muddy water. And that is the situation. So that's how, so the moment we touch, we are here. And so we cannot be holding on to this. We should try and get the dirt out of us. So this is Maya Devi. And they are holding the 3, there's only one Maya, but as 3 modes, they are just playing us like puppet show. Now we are going to see the race, who wins and all that. Now I want to know one thing. Is Maya more powerful or Krishna more powerful?
Krishna.
Krishna.
Clear? Any disconnect?
No, Mataji.
Yeah. So Maya Devi reports into Krishna. Just like like last time I was giving you this example. Like if let's say Hema Mataji is here and she's constantly getting calls from the Secretary of President. Secretary of the President, is he powerful? Yes or no?
Yeah, to us, yeah.
Yeah, to us. Thank you so much. That is clear. So Hema Mataji every day, and he's telling, come out for a cup of coffee. And Hema Mataji is so bugged. He's saying, no, I don't want. She goes and tells her friends, she tells her husband, she tells her parents, she tells us also. But none of us are influential enough to do anything, right? So one day what is happening is, let's say Mohandas Prabhu meets the president, right? He is called the president for Bhagavad Gita inauguration show of ours. And the president is coming. And that time, Mohandas Prabhu he's impressed and he gives the president the card. Right? The president gives Mohandas Prabhu the card. Right? And he sees Hema Mataji also is there in this meeting behind. Right? Now what will happen? Secretary will be scared. My God, okay, now this Mohandas Prabhu is admin and he is overseeing a lot of people. And now president has given this card to this Mohandas Prabhu. Now what he will think? He will think, okay, Hema is there. Maybe we don't know. Maybe Mohandas Prabhu and Hema do not know each other. Or maybe Mohandas Prabhu won't help or Hema won't talk to her. So let's take a chance. He will still call. Hema, how about cup of coffee? Which is what Maya Devi does. She'll still try in the starting stage when you just picked up chanting. Maybe we are not dedicated. Maybe we are doing. So let's try. Later, when he starts seeing that Mohandas Prabhu is interacting, and then finally Mohandas Prabhu says, I have a hotline, I'm going to call. Okay. One warning, he need not even give. He tells Hema immediately over years. He says, oh my God, I don't want to get, because he is a dangerous person, right? He will directly call the president. It's a hotline there. Let me not take a chance. And he will run away. Same way. So these Maya Devi is the secretary or the servitor of Krishna, and she will never take a chance to overrule Krishna. They are just following the orders of Krishna. Krishna says, give them a material body because it's their wish. Okay, I'll win. Right? Give them the mode because the mode only will help. Right? So people like me, if you give Sattva Guna, what will happen? We will not know what to do because we want like passion, right? We want like full of inertia, run here, run there. We are like that. So she will say, okay, then I'll give you passion. You want to make money, you want to become rich. Okay, then passion is the right thing, right? Because if you are in ignorance, you will be sleeping all day. And if you are in goodness, you will not even have interest to earn money, right? So she gives a passion. Oh no, I want to enjoy these drugs and drinks and alcohol. I want to sleep for so many hours. Okay, I'll put you in passion, in ignorance, because if you're in goodness, what will happen? You have to get up at 4 o'clock, you'll be tempted, right? So that's not favoring. So she will put that. So that's based on your wish. And the body is based on your credit. Wish is fulfilled, but the credit depends on how much credit points. If you have good credit point, you become a human. If you are a bad credit point, you can become an animal. Right? So mode of ignorance as a human being also is possible. Mode of ignorance as animal, which is snake also. How living entity is conditioned. We'll see. So eternally is transcendental, right? The moment he comes in contact, what happens? Material nature, unmanifested. So far it's sleeping. Suddenly it wakes up like a sleeping cobra. Right? Cobra is sleeping, poison doesn't come. But when it comes out, it's ready to spit out the poison anytime, right? So that is the thing. So 3 modes, what are they? We saw passion, ignorance. Conditioned by the modes, LE means living entity. Living entity is forced to act according to the modes, right? Because it gets conditioned. So if somebody is born as a pig, the person will not remember. He will eat the stool. So there is a curse where Indra was cursed as a pig, right? So he comes here to the earth, and after many years he gets a benediction and Brahma comes to call him. He says, hey Indra, enough, yaar, your role is over, done with the pig, come off to Indra Loka. Right now imagine Indra Loka is the king. He's telling, how can I come now? I cannot come. I have pig wives, many wives, na? Pig. So they don't have restriction, in case you all want to know. So don't tell pig has many wives. Can I have many wives? You should not ask, right? We can have only one wife. So or one husband. So pig has many wives. I have so many wives. I have so many beautiful kids, such cute kids. Now all are telling, pig kids, how can it be cute, Mataji? For the pig kid is cute, na? So the pig kids, piglets, I'm not coming. And all. So they had to do a major conviction and convince Indra to come there. So if Indra itself coming to a material world gets contaminated in the body of a pig which eats stool. So if we take a particular role, we will do. If you are born as a dog, we will bark. If you're born as a pig, we will eat stool. So automatically that will come into existence. Krishna. So here we have Achintya Veda philosophy. Right? Transcendental means we have all the qualities. Hare Krishna. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena. I can't see the screen. Sorry, just one second. So now, wait, I'll just chant again. So before that, so what are we talking about? I was talking about the modes in the form of animals, right? And why is it important? Is I always keep telling that about one thing, right? We are very confused why people behavior is like this. Now coming back to people behavior, can you also tell animal behavior? Why do you feel that the dog always waits till you feed, right? Whereas how much ever you feed and how much ever you show loyalty, how much ever sincere, same efforts you show to a snake, will the snake exhibit the same behavior? Will the snake exhibit the same behavior?
No.
No, Mataji.
No, right? The snake will behave only in its own way. You cannot convince the snake to be, how much ever you feed milk, the snake is just going to be angry and will just not bother about you. So this is a classic example of mode of passion and mode of ignorance. I'm not even getting into the mode of goodness. The reason I'm saying this is because so sometimes when you're talking about people, why the behavior is like this. So I'm giving an answer in the animal planet. Why is the behavior of a snake not similar to that of a dog? If you can train a dog, why you're not able to train a snake? You're same, no? Your quality is same. Whether it's a snake or a dog, you're treating same. You're very nice. But then why are you not able to succeed?
That's the nature of the snake.
Exactly. So that is the nature of the person too. So no matter how good you are, how bad you are, they will be the same because that's their nature. So that an original nature of ours. So what is supposed to be our original nature? Can anyone tell what is our original nature?
Transcendental.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mataji. We are part and parcel of Krishna, and our original nature is spiritual. It is transcendental, right? So technically, a salt has to be salty, right? Sugar has to be sweet. That's the nature. That's the guna. But our nature should be transcendental. But unfortunately, we are not. Hare Krishna, back to 14.16. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena bandnati jnana sangena chanagaha. Hare Krishna.
O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than the others is eliminating and it free one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode develop knowledge, but they become conditioned by the concept of happiness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very nice, right? So he says, oh sinless one, right? So let's see the video. I think video is there. Yes.
Let us go for a stroll in the countryside. Look. I brought us a healthy picnic lunch. The air is clean here, so peaceful. Here we can get away from the agitating elements of the city.
Hare Krishna. So very nice, right? So this person is free from all the sinful reactions, right? In this mode, but there is one problem. He is so relaxed. He feels he's good. He has full of knowledge and there's so much of content, which is fine. But he also get in the position that I'm the best. Kind of a feeling will slowly crop, right? A classic, we talk about Brahmana community, why they are behaving like this, because they are conditioned to this kind of self-content and happiness, and they have knowledge and they feel they are ultimate in knowledge, and therefore they don't go to the next level. So this is goodness. Why am I highlighting goodness so much is because when there is development of knowledge and you conditioned by that concept of happiness, you get contempt and you also ego arises from that. So again, this conditions someone to the Hare Krishna. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi Krishna sangas samudbhavam tannibandnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Hare Krishna.
The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, one is bound to material fruitive activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The mode of passion, right? The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires, right? There will be so much of unlimited desires. It will go on and on, O son of Kunti, and because of this, one is bound by the material fruitive activity. So passion is there. And you have unlimited desires, right? The desires are going on and you don't have satisfaction. Example, Tata Birla, will he ever be content? Okay, I've got so much money, I'm happy. Never, right? He will have so many desires and he will never be satisfied at all. So that is his challenge. Why is so? Because he is someone who again has, his desires keep on going. If he gets 100 crore, he will get more. Like I met Anmol Ambani's son, and I was telling this sometime back, and he had met a few of us, like 6 to 10 of us in every region, and he wanted to know from the ground, which is nice. So when I had a word with him, he said that no, my idea is, at least double, if not at least get 30%. So he was all talking about percentage, right? And that's his motive. Now whatever money he has, another 10 generations, he will be very comfortable, right? But look at their passion. They'll keep constantly running after the money and they will hardly be able to even enjoy what they have earned. Hare Krishna. So let's see what it is about.
What are you doing, man? Out here working on your tan? Monday's the Honey Sunday! I bet you forgot about Susie, didn't you? You're supposed to take her to Vegas this weekend. You know, lose your money, Vegas. You'll be rich. You'll reach the top. Just one hitch. You're just unstuck. Just get it.
This is very familiar, no? All our management speeches, yes or no? This is just do it. Just do it. Nike brand style. right? So this is the mode of, passion, where, all the management speakers will all be in this category, passion. 14.8, Hare Krishna. This is going to talk about tamas. Tamas tvajnanajam vitti mohanam sarvadehina pramadalasya nidrabhi tanniptati bharata. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
O son of Bharata, the mode of ignorance causes the delusion of all living entities. The result of this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep, which binds the conditioned soul. Hare Krishna.
So very clearly you can see madness, right, and sleep and all this. This completely binds someone in the conditioned soul, right? And therefore this is a very dangerous thing. So these are people, if you see, they'll be sleeping for not just 1 hour or 2 hours extra. They will be always lazing till 10 o'clock. Why? Because they are in mode of ignorance. How much ever you tell them, you can't do, right? Getting up at 4 o'clock is like impossible for them. Why? Because they are in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hey! Glass of that! Glass of that, man! I think you just need to chill with me. I got 6 packs in the fridge, play some video games, watch some TV, shut the curtains and just shut out the world. Sounds good, huh?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Shobha Mataji and Nitrajan Mataji, you all can read if you all want to. You all can take turns, no problem at all. If it's doubts, I'll take it up at the end. Hare Krishna. So we have these modes. So we have goodness conditioning. So we saw, right, how does the goodness, so we're going to see all 3 modes conditioning, how it binds them. The best for goodness. So first thing we will go, right? So how does it come? Illuminate, frees one from all sinful. That's a plus point. In this mode, they are conditioned by the sense of happiness and knowledge. They are so happy, content, and they feel knowledge. They are so knowledgeable. And even if you tell them this is right or wrong, they won't be able to accept it because they already feel they are very knowledgeable. Example is scientist, philosopher, poet, right? They're very happy because they are always free, right? But the destiny is there is no likelihood of liberation, even for them, because they are not progressing towards knowledge of God, right? Who are the representative type of goodness? Brahmanas, I told you, represent the mode of goodness. But if you go and tell a Brahmana, no, you're wrong, how many of them accept depends on this. How the 3 types of conditioned living entities act. So we all saw that he's always happy, right? Someone in passion is always active. They will not waste even a single minute, right? They will go on and on running. And ignorance is helpless. They don't know what to do. They're always confused, what to do. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. Let me go sleep. They will have so many plans, but they will be fully sleeping. So next one, passion conditioning. Let's see. Characterized by strong attraction. Normally, passion, they are very attractive to opposite gender or things, right? So it's very dominating for them. How mode of passion binds them, right? They are advancement of modern civilization. Largely for them, according to them, that is the right thing. How fast you can advance. Some products of passion, you will see for material enjoyment, they will crave. They definitely need honor. They will do anything for me. Whether they are 8 years or whether they are 80 years, you see a lot of videos of people who are 75, 80 also, they sing their own songs and they will put in YouTube. They will play videos. They will do a lot of things and all that. Now, why 80 is different from 18? Because 18 is immaturity, right? But at the age of 80, you are generally matured, but still you will go on because you want that meme, you want that fame. What happy family, they need wife, children. And if there is no child or wife, they will feel like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Why you didn't get married? All this session happens in this mode of passion. And they want to construct a house for them. The first goal of life, what is your goal in life? I want to build my own house. That will be the first. Have you ever heard? I mean, you can also relate. What is the aim in your life? I want to build a house of my own. Now, whether you build the house of your own or not, you may not even land up staying in the house. That's a different story. But then you feel that, no, I need house. I need 2 houses. I need 3 houses. The number never ends, right? And So he'll be working on this house and he will construct, and probably he'll hit the grave even before spending a day in that house. Thus he's bound by the fruits of the work. What is the destination? He never has a chance for liberation again. All three don't have a chance for liberation. So that's what we see. Ignorance, how it binds, this is very clear. He's always sleep drunk, right? So, or actually drunk. So it is the opposite of goodness. So under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand or think properly. He has no clarity. It is either madness or lazy. Indolence is the tendency to become lazy, right? So he will, 6 hours is sufficient, but he will sleep 10 to 12 hours. Such people are going to be, born as a, let's say, bear or something, because even if we lie down for 12 hours, we can't sleep for 12 hours, right? So we'll be able to sleep only for 6 hours, maximum 8 hours. On a sick day, yes, but on a regular day. So if you are taking a bear, bear can sleep for 6 months, right? So that's a USP. It's always dejected and addicted to intoxicants. They are so addicted to intoxicants. The destiny, there's no chance of liberation. That's a 14.9 Hare Krishna. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajak karmani bharata jnanam avrityatu thama pramade sanjayate uta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions him to the fruits of action, and ignorance to madness. Hare Krishna.
The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, right? So we saw that is the most, because everything, passion and ignorance, nobody will have a doubt. Sukhe. So sukhe means happiness. So sattvam will tie you up with that sukha, happiness, and therefore you take the fall, is what we can see. Recognizing the supremacy of a mode with a person. So we will see within a person which mode, this is what we were asking, right? Which mode is the best? And Shyam Prabhu said goodness, Mohandas Prabhu said passion, and I'm saying ignorance. Along with me, someone whispered, so I couldn't spot who it is. So let's see now who is the winner. Is it Mohandas Prabhu, or is it Shyam Prabhu, or ultimately is it me? So let's all start. 14.10, Hare Krishna. Yes, please go ahead. And somebody had raised the hand. Do you want to read? You can go ahead and read.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sometimes
Krishna.
the mode of passion becomes prominent, defeating the mode of goodness, O son of Bharata. And sometimes the mode of goodness defeats passion, and at other times the mode of ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the clear reading. So, mode of passion sometimes is dominating, right? Mode of goodness sometimes defeats passion, and sometimes mode of ignorance defeats goodness and passion. So generally, I always used to feel, and that's why I supported ignorance, I always felt ignorance is the strongest. I felt, because I thought that it's my personal view and it's not the right view. I felt, it's easy to get ignorant, but no. And then I thought, okay, passion is strongest, because passion is risky. You can either go up or fall, which is true. Passion is risky, but it's not the strongest. Now, is mode of goodness strongest? Because once you become mode of goodness, you don't want to fall down. That is also not true, because there also you can fall. So equally, all three are empowered, right? Exactly equal power, but they keep taking turns and they keep constantly fighting. This is what we are going to see. 14.11, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The manifestations of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when do you see that goodness is manifested? Like it's fully glorified. So when the gates, how many gates are there in the body?
9,
Nine.
Mataji.
9,
Oh, not bad. Okay, 9. And what are they?
2 ears, nose, 2 mouth, and 2 eyes, and for excretion 2.
Yeah, excretion and genitals, right? Hare Krishna. So nice. 9. Not. I'm so happy you all remember. Right? Normally when we come here, we'll get stuck. 9. What is this gate? 9 is there, okay, but then gates is there. You get confused. So very clearly, if you are loading them with knowledge, they get illuminated, and that shows mode of goodness. 14.12. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. O chief of Bharata, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment and uncontrollable desire, hankering, and intense endeavor develop. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So basically, what are they telling is, if you have the mode, right, O chief of Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, when there is so much of passion that increases, there's so much of attachment, right? There is an uncontrolled desire and hankering and intense endeavor to develop, right? There is continuously hankering and there's an intense thought to develop, right? There's that, as I said, the hankering will never end. If money is a hankering, they'll not stop, they'll go on. 5 houses not enough, 10 houses not enough. I'm sick also, even from the sick bed I will do. So this is the story of a person who had 3 children and he was having a shop. Okay, and he was in his deathbed and they said, your father is very critical. So all 3 sons, very nice of the sons, unlike some sons who would sit there and wait, okay, I will take the money and run. But these 3 sons come running to the father. Here, the unlikely person was not the son, it was the father. Father was very angry. He said, all 3 are here. Then who will take care of the shop? How can you just come like that? What will happen? So imagine, even in his deathbed, his mind is constantly in money. So what happens is, he is now reborn again, same house, same factory, everything is same. And into the same family, he is there as a dog. And the sons do not know he is reborn as a dog. And they keep kicking him. One leg, left leg, one right leg, you don't know what will happen. And they keep kicking him, right? So that is very, very important. And if he gets kicked left, right, center, what is going to happen is that he is now, he kicked these sons into running for money. And now he is getting kicked because now as a dog, he is there, but is he even going to understand the value of money or his factory? No. So this is the actual situation. And finally, they threw stones and threw the dog itself out. So all while he was working like a dog and finally got a bad body of a dog. So this is a classic example of passion where constant, grace keeps going on. So 14.13, let's see ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Can I read, Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. O son of Kuru, when there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, madness, illusion, inertia, and darkness are manifested.
In terms of illusion, what happens? First of all, he's so confused, right? He's in inertia, that means there's no action. He's always in darkness. What is darkness? Absence of light is called darkness, right? And these things are manifested. He is just continuously like into drugs, drinking, or into online gaming. Ma'am, is online gaming wrong? No. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you also have seen something like blue whale and all that, right? We know what kind of risk online can get people into. So that is the challenge of online gaming and all that. So they will go on into a lot of sites called dark site. I don't know the names. Dark web, right? Dark web and all that. These are like really very shady and can trap a person permanently. So this is all about the modes. And section B talks about action and death. What happens in action or death? So that we'll see tomorrow. And what we are going to do is, why are we understanding modes, is to break the shakal, right? So to answer the question, who is right? All 3 of us are wrong. Mohandas Prabhu, myself, and Sham Prabhu, because there is nothing called this mode is the senior most. It is definitely we have to go, but power-wise, all 3 modes are good. All 3 can do. So let's say that same person, many roads keep playing. Example, now you've come, right? So you all have come and we are having Bhagavad Gita early in the morning. But there is somebody who may tell that, forget about this. Let me, let's say your friend or a spouse says, hey, just watch the news, 5 minutes, something very hot has come up. So immediately what happens? All of you all, are listening to me. Your videos are off. You put the TV on. Your mind is also off and you're watching the news. Such a very dangerous news. Oh my God, there is riot, there is murder. Your mood is shifting straight away from mode of passion to ignorance, right? And correctly at the time, there is an ad. At that ad, you see a very beautiful, I always tell girl, I will tell guy. Now, a solid, very nice looking, very handsome macho man is coming. And you look at it and you say, oh my God, this guy is so hot, or this girl is so beautiful, right? Depending on what is your interest, you get attracted. Shift is directly from passion to ignorance. Now you tell me how from goodness passion can lead, ignorance can lead. Right? And it can directly from goodness also ignorance. So it's not that one mode is there. Any mode can overtake any mode, right? And suddenly a child will be sleeping, and you will notice this in 12th standard. And I have been noticing a lot of kids who say that in 12th, suddenly they'll wake up. They'll be in mood of ignorance. Suddenly they'll tell, no, I've decided to, and you'll be stunned. Oh my God, this kid I thought will not even pass. Can you believe she got so much marks? Have you come across this? Because there, at that point in time, the mode of goodness is woken up straight and told, yes, we can. right? That is a very predominant character. And why? Because this is an important factor which we have to take into consideration. So there was one particular couple of situations, right, where not two, in fact, three situations, I'll tell you. So, so the point was, you know, how, you know, you cannot think beyond. Okay. Now the negative side, why always positive? So I was talking about one type, right? So I have I think I've told you all this, but if I have told, you know, bear with me. So there was this girl, right? And she was a doctor. She was an eye specialist. She was my friend actually. And my daughter actually jumped into the pool and she was feeling a little blurred vision, right? Normally it happens when there is chlorine content, which is high. And after a long time, her blurredness was worsening. Normally it should become better. So I had a doubt. I called her. She said, try this drop so you come here. I said, I'll come there because usually, you know, it should improve. So I don't want to take a chance. She said, yeah, come. So I went, took her. She checked and she said, yes, there is this, you know, slight. Krishna Prabhu, you record. Yeah. So then immediately, you know, as I was driving, after about 10-15 minutes, she called me again. She said, hey, have you reached home? I said, yes, I have reached home. And she said, okay, okay. Then after 2 hours, she said, I hope you don't have headache. And she works for Natraya. So why I'm telling that is, you know, the kind of crowd. So the point which I was trying to do, and most of the time, people are a reflection of yourself, right? So I would also check, but I would have checked once, maybe after going home, right? Only when she did this to me, I understood, oh, she was so concerned, right? Until then, you know, my mind, even for a plus point, I could not understand. Because we are in that particular mood, right? We are, when we are not in that mood to understand a mood also. So basically she was very sweet, she was concerned, but for me to understand why would she do this, I was not suspecting her in terms of trust, but the fact is maybe it's something very serious, you know, I went into that mood. And when it came to me, I understand, okay, dilation is normal. And she's generally like that kind who is like very concerned. So especially, you know, these things happen when doctors check on you, you know, it's normally we only check on doctors. So when it's doctor, even if they are friends, you know, you get into the suspicion mode. Why? Because that's how modes play. Their personality may be different, but when you feel that you have someone maybe like this, and if they are too good, you know, it confuses you. Same way we've experienced that. Constantly, sometimes, you know, you feel that this person is in the mode of goodness. Your own assumption. Classic example, I will tell all of us. Spiritual world, right? We all come with an assumption that, okay, material world, okay, spiritual world, everybody will be great. Everybody will be like all sadhus. And, you know, they will all be so profound, right? Yes or no? We all have this feeling. And why am I bringing this up is because you all are in Bhakti Shastri. In Bhakti Vriksha groups. In the Bhakti Vriksha group, there will be one girl who will probably tell, or one boy will tell, Prabhu or Mataji, why it's so boring? Why are you asking these questions? Right? You will tell, what did I ask? Am I not even allowed to talk in this group? I don't even want to be a part of this group. Let me just exit. Right? You will get so, it will come across so strongly that, you know, it can hit you so badly that you may, now your choice. You can either move into the choice, you have two choices, mode of ignorance, run away, or you can go into a mode of passion and argue until I fight, or mode of ignorance, ignore. Right? And the same thing, you know, can chop. And I'm just giving you an example so that you can relate. Is it clear, or am I getting too heavy, or is it boring? Hare Krishna.
For me, it's clear, Mataji.
Clear? Come on, others also tell me. Is it clear? Or
Yes, Mataji. It
Yes,
is very
Mataji.
clear.
Yeah, and I want to highlight so much of spiritual world here, because in spiritual world also, the spiritual world is different. When we are going to Goloka, people will be all clear. But the spiritual life which we are leading is also with material people. And I wanted to give you the caution, because even in this world, when we are in this material world, we will be bound constantly by these modes, and therefore we will get very addicted to these modes, because all of us here are already conditioned. So whether it's me, or whether it's you, whether it is Arun Prabhu, or whether it is Hema Mataji, all of us are conditioned. So you can't expect all of us to change overnight. Okay, we've joined Bhakti Vriksha, we become good. We finished 18 days. Now we are in the 14th chapter. Oh, we are all great devotees. We are beginning, we are neophytes, right? So we will see challenges, and the point which I want to tell you is, amidst challenges, if you can leave, you can move to mode of goodness, right? So this is what I wanted to tell, and with this, I will end this chapter. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpa darubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, all of you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna. Come on, some nice. Now you all tell me, is there anything else? I will tell you a story of animals today and demigods. But before that, you all ask your doubts, or you all have any story you all can share.
Mataji, very first slide was a Saptarusi slide. Can you explain that picture, please?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
The very first slide, the 14.1, the Saptarusi was showing in the picture. Can you explain that picture, please?
1 second. That is from the 11th canto. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second, Mataji. It's good. Meanwhile, anyone has doubts? Any other doubts?
Mataji, ultimately, it's the mode of goodness that we have to achieve. I mean, when we try to achieve the mode of goodness, I understand that we will have all three modes they are equal, and then we'll probably have to somehow balance them, balance all of the mode. But ultimately, is it the mode of the goodness that we want to achieve by balancing all
in the second
three?
chapter, I'm answering. In the second chapter, Krishna told Arjuna one thing, and I will tell you that. Prabhu, tell me which mode is Arjuna in?
So Arjuna is in mode of
Passion.
ignorance.
Mode of passion.
Okay.
Passion,
So we perceive Arjuna is in mode of passion because currently, that is when he is confused for fighting the war, he's jumped to mode of passion. But originally, Arjuna is always in the mode of goodness, right? Is from our perception. I'm just telling you, because the moment he's confused, otherwise you see a dominant feature of Arjuna is not passion. We are calling him passion because he's into army, he's a Kshatriya, and therefore he should be passionate, right? Because of a particular mode. But otherwise you see the qualities of Arjuna are so nice, right? He's so compassionate, not just for him, but also for the opposite side, right? Now Duryodhana, what mode is he in? If he's a Kshatriya, is in mode of passion, then Duryodhana, is he also in the same mode?
No, he's in mode of ignorance, Mataji.
So nice. So clear. So if he is a Kshatriya, then he also should be passion. So it is, yes, you're right in a way that it dominates. Like for a Brahmana, mode of goodness will dominate. For a Kshatriya, a mode of goodness plus passion. For a Vaishya, mode of passion. And for a Sudra, mode of ignorance, right? But the personalities change. So Arjuna is somebody who is so good. Let me just keep the charger on. So Arjuna is someone who is so good and in the mode of he's in a particular mode which is actually in mode of goodness, and obviously currently he's jumping from two modes because he's in a dilemma. But what is Krishna telling in the second chapter? He says Traigunya Vibhäga Nishtraigunyo Bhavajana Nirbandho Nitya Satyasya Niryogakshema Atmavan. So very clearly he says, boss, raise among the three modes. Don't keep struggling between the three modes, because only if you raise among the three modes you'll be able to achieve the success, is what he very clearly says among this. So why am I saying this is because it is very important that the modes constantly fight, and you also don't keep deciding between the three modes, because if you're talking about getting liberated, right, you have to go above the three modes. Now that's called Shuddha Sattva. And why am I telling this example is, Arun Prabhu, you asked me, goodness, yes, it's a first step. If you're in ignorance, first step becomes passion. If you're in passion, first step becomes ignorance. But can we not jump modes? Yes, we can. We have seen Mrigari's story, right? I'm sure all of you know Mrigari's story, which I've told earlier, or in 18 days. And also everybody knows Valmiki. These two people were all forest hunters, thieves, right? They were killing animals and all of them. And they were in mode of ignorance. But Narada came and displayed two things. To Mrigari, he came and showed visuals of how hell, planet and all is there. So he had graphics effect. And for Valmiki, he told that you're doing for what? He said, for my family. He said, go and check with your family who will share the sin. So he went and asked his wife, hey, I'm doing this. Will you share my sin? He said, no, why should I? It's your duty to take care of me. He went to the children. He said, you're my father. You should have taught me the right thing. Why are you asking me to share the sin? So then he understood. So he gave a life audit, right? So here is a practical live demo, live audit. And here it's a live demo. He sees what will be your life in hell. So both actually move directly to Shuddha Sattva. Now today, Krishna is showing us life audit. We are seeing live many people in Srimad Bhagavatam. He is also giving a demo. He is talking about what? He is also saying very clearly in the 8th chapter, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anushmaran Yuddhacha. Mayarpita Mano Biddhir Mame Vaishyasya Asamshaya. But we will not listen. Nothing will go inside our ears only, because we are somewhere between passion and ignorance, right? So our actual role is to go above. But jumping into Suddha Sattva is very difficult. Like a child who's 35 marks, if you tell she'll give up. But what you tell the child? Okay, get 50 marks, then you get 60 marks, then you get 80 marks. So that is what matters, right? So that is what we are talking about. Hare Krishna. So I hope I answered your question, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Mataji, back to 14.1. Nimi. He is Nimi. He is called King Nimi, and he was such a exalted. It comes in 11th canto. I haven't read 11th canto as in Srimad Bhagavatam. And he talks about all this, sannyasis, sages who come. These are the rishis, right? Nine rishis. So story goes back to, I will have to go to Brahma. Now Brahma had children, Prajapatis, and we had, Devahuti. Devahuti got married to Kardama Muni. Now Kardama Muni had 9 daughters, and he got them married to 9 rishis. So various rishis, all the named rishis, Sabda rishis plus 2 more rishis, are all of them are right from Kashyapa, Angani Rishi. All of them are supposed to be the greatest of rishis, right? All of them had reached liberation after knowing this chapter. So basically this chapter, which we are talking, is so important, because we'll tell why should we know about modes? Because just as how I spoke, right? Arun Prabhu, if I put him in a room and give him all the ingredients, he knows cooking, he's expert now, but he does not know to switch on the gas. Even after 10 hours, he'll be stuck. So in the material world, and we do not understand these modes, because we are going to day in, day out interact about them. Then we will not know whether it's an animal or a person. We need modes only then. Otherwise, if you see, oh my God, this I will be in mode of goodness. The snake is so cute. I will go pat the snake. If you tell like patting a dog, the snake will only hit you. So you understand that the snake is in the mode of ignorance. There is a small child, 1-year child, will go pat the snake. Right? But will the snake tell, oh, it's a small child, I will not strike? Will any snake think like that? Yes or no?
No, Mataji.
Yeah, but whereas a dog can really, it is in mode of passion. But if a small child goes and pulls the ear of a dog, it will think, okay, it's a small child. That time the dog exhibits goodness. Can you see that dog? Same with the same dog, when it sees you as unknown, even if you're good, it will be scared, it will bite. It shows ignorance, right? So, but the dog is a strong one in passion, and cow is someone in goodness. So if anybody is in the mode of goodness, you can be rest assured your previous birth, you were a cow. Because from a cow, if you're reborn, you will be in the mode of goodness. And from a tiger, if you come as an animal, you will see, right? In many offices, you will see somebody who will be wearing, they'll be like constantly, what do you want? Huh? Go like this, and they'll be so rude, rough and tough, throw you here, throw you there, right? These are tigers. They were all born, they were all tigers. And why is, someone asked, why is tiger population coming down? Not just because we are killing, all tigers only are here wearing pant and shirt and specs and coming and sitting next. Turn around and see, you'll see a lot of tigers and lions. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
So go to office, you'll have a look. Oh my God, it's a tiger, it's a tiger. Oh my God, right? So this is what it is. So this is exactly what is happening. So this is a fact, and this is what Mataji, you had the doubt on this, so I'm bringing you back. Understanding this, we'll be able to take it forward. Otherwise, we will be constantly blaming ourselves. Constantly blaming. One stage or the other, you will start blaming yourself. Right? I saw Aishwarya Mataji was taking, a Bhagavatam class. And there were some jokers in the morning who should not come, but they have come, and they had typed some abusive words. And for a few minutes, even I didn't understand. And it was going on. And, they asked and they unmuted, and they also spoke in some language, and they were trying to disturb her. And then the message started coming from her ID, with her name. And then only I realized these jokers, so smart. It's just like, one of you, let's say that, we have Manorama Mataji, she can always rename herself, right? She renames as Radhika and messages in the group. What do you think? You'll be thinking that I'm only messaging, right? So this person was so intellectually smart. Krishna has given the knowledge, but look at the way he's applying or she's applying the knowledge. She or he has renamed her name as the teacher's name and typing. So for us, we feel that why is teacher teaching and typing this? So I immediately for a second thought, is there a virus in the system? right? But then so she got disturbed. Thankfully, she finished the class, but beyond that, she said, okay, let me quiet. So I just messaged, just ignore, don't bother, right? Don't bother. Don't worry about all this. Just ignore. Okay, now, as if I was in one super mode of goodness, I told, okay, don't bother. All this, don't bother, okay? So, so when the same thing happened, I also didn't bother. Okay? Somebody, because sometimes in Tamil class they go, I keep telling don't bother, because somebody is unknown, it's not. So now, okay, applied, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Very nice. Okay, I've applied this knowledge. I didn't feel that much, but I'm just giving an example, right? Okay, it's worked on me. Now the same thing, I'm just telling the same thing, right? How it can flip you. Okay, the same thing happened when one of the teachers came and told me that, there was a particular group, when I was taking class, they said, Mataji, you're very nice. That was not my group. Please come back again, right? There were two ways of reaction. So the same thing happened when I was taking class in Namanishta Prabhu's class. And you can see his mode of goodness. Immediately what Prabhu told is very good, yeah, you itself tell her itself to take the class, right? And in one meeting, without knowing, he was telling, you're competing with me. And I was laughing, Prabhu, where can I even come? Because I can't even get close in my wildest dream to him, whether it's jnana, renunciation, bhakti, nowhere close, right? But such exalted souls, they don't take, because they are constantly in the mode of goodness, right? And he had never told which mode he is. He will always tell, when I tell, oh my God, this chapter will come in the 16th chapter, which talks about divine quality and demonic quality. And when I looked at the demonic quality, I could relate, and I'm sure you all will relate. There was some one word called harshness. I said, Prabhu, I'm demonic. I have this quality. Immediately he told, yeah, we all will have. So nice, right? He has none of the qualities, but just to convince us, right? He brought himself down. That is mode of goodness. We could see that. So, okay, good point. Okay, we are very excited. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I'll take class. So 8 p.m. class came on to me and I started taking. Now, the same way one teacher told, hey, I'm not fine. Can you please take? I know you're loaded. Can you please take the class? I said, okay, I will do that. And she called me in the night at 9 and told, substitute for my class. Okay. Then next, one more class. She told, can you take? I told, okay. Then she messaged me telling that, you're supposed to finish the class in 1 hour, but you took 10 minutes extra, 20 minutes extra. I told, yeah, I know, but that was not my mistake. It was partially my mistake, but sometimes you just can't cut off the class because there was one para left. I didn't feel like giving that up because it will confuse them for the next day. She said, okay, no problem. And after that, next day morning, she messaged at 5:15, telling that, there should be a lot of stress, not just on knowledge. We should, stress on this. And one big message came, so I don't think you should take further classes and all that. It just hit me. I thought, okay, oh my God, maybe I'm not fit. Maybe I'm not a teacher. Because I'm not a teacher by profession, right? And I don't enjoy teaching as a profession, but I enjoy taking Bhagavad Gita. So, I got so confused. Maybe I'm not right. Maybe I'm not fit. And I was supposed to take Bhagavatam at 6 a.m. And that was also substitution for my Tamil teacher because she's not well. And that was 5:15. And I thought, maybe I'm not right. Right? It went so much in my mind. And I thought, I was not sure whether I should cancel the class. I thought, okay, I will do, and maybe I'll have a talk with her. And thankfully, and I'm telling you all, thankfully, we have the Sadhu Sangha where we read from 5:15 to 6 o'clock. And I had that 45 minutes to read. And I was off, right? I was on, they were telling, what, you're dreaming or you're working somewhere. Because I will sometimes try and chant shlokas and it went hayway. So I said, no, but I just wanted to tell because this philosophy, because they were all teachers. 3 of them were teachers. So I said, you all are teachers. So if I explain, is it right? They said, yeah, it's perfect. I'm not telling I'm perfect, but I can do what best I could. Then I said, no, I had a view that, you are not teaching. Your teaching is very heavy, right? So students don't understand because normally maybe I'm not a teacher, so I may not be able to match. So I said, no, don't worry about all that. Just go ahead. So 6 o'clock, now 6 o'clock Tamil, I have a language problem also. I am not great in Tamil because I'm Telugu. I can't read. So somebody else displays a screen from me and they will tell me move to the next shloka and I will hear and I will teach, right? So there is a flop over there also. And the crowd is very mixed. See, here we have diversified the crowd, right? So here it's only adult. And I took a 7 o'clock batch yesterday. It's only youth. So we know the crowd. Here it's huge, right? You could have a small child till adult at 80. So I thought, okay, mixed crowd. I was taking 1 week confidently. And when I was doing this came up constantly in my mind, right? On. And I was thinking, oh my God, look at me. Right. And at the end, I asked them, can you tell me, do you really understand? I said, yes, Mataji, we can understand. And they're very naive. They will tell on the face, right? Just like how we are all transparent. Like we have Mohandas Prabhu telling I am passion, and goodness, Sham Prabhu telling that will dominate, and Arun Prabhu said goodness will be that. We have a very open, transparent conversations. I said, no, Mataji, we can understand you. I said, sometime I use Telugu words. They said, no problem, Mataji, we'll pick and we will change. So when I am stuck with words, they will give me the words, and that's how we manage. That time, after the class, I was thinking how a particular word, I told some other Mataji, right, don't bother. A similar situation I could manage, but if the situation becomes intense, which means a stranger shouts, we don't care. But someone, as they come closer to you, we react. So we are still not in that mode. We have not transferred. I'm explaining this specifically for you, Arun, because you are telling mode, can we transfer? We have not, right? Because if we are transfers, we should not bother. Who tells what? How do I will go ahead. Because that day I was seriously, two thoughts came in my mind. Should I stop teaching? Because if I'm not driving the purpose of Hare Krishna and the purpose of Krishna to the devotees, and if that's not the purpose of me teaching, then it means that I'm short of a teacher. Then I should stop at that moment teaching and I should quit. You know, this came. I didn't take a decision, of course, because I don't believe in taking decisions when you're disturbed. But that was strongly running in my mind. Maybe I'm misfit. Maybe because I'm anyway not a teacher. So I can't, maybe I am short. Maybe I'm not conveying if I'm not able to explain. So I took some time off and I messaged Mohandas Prabhu. Prabhu, is my teaching understandable? Do you understand what I'm teaching? Right. And he gave me a 4 para. This is there, this is there, this is there. Okay. Then I thought, okay. Then every class I went, I said, do you understand what I'm teaching? And everyone said yes. So at least one person will write. We have a review session in the night and there also they said. Then I thought, okay, I think it's high time, you know, I put an end to this because I start thinking I am not the body, I am the soul, and I will teach what best I can, right? The rest is Krishnarpanam. If they can't understand, they will come back and tell me. They will not understand. And that is when I understood that we don't have Vijnana, at least I don't have, right? I am not the body. The moment they tell, you know, that dominates. It took me 24 hours to conclude that I will continue my teaching, no matter what. But my audience may differ. I may take a higher audience, smaller audience, but my teaching will go on, right? To the extent people can understand. So, but it took me 24 hours. Now, am I completely out of it? I still don't know. But I've taken a decision to be out of it, right? So why am I saying this to you all is because at any stage and in any area, whether it's material world or in a spiritual world, we can all be. And please do not stop what you think you're good at and never stop or go out of Krishna service, because this is very important that you are talking to people. That's why I always tell, sell one book, gift books for birthday, give Bhagavad Gitas, but sell one book. Because when you sell, you will sell not Bhagavad Gita, but you will talk about Krishna. What is Bhagavad Gita? You will tend to know. So at least once in a life, you should sell one book. Once a year, I would say, sell one Bhagavad Gita. For 50 rupees also you sell, but sell. Because that's a very important point. Hare Krishna. With this, I will end this chapter. And any other doubts?
Mataji, one question, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. I was feeling very incomplete. Why you didn't ask question? Tell Prabhu.
Mataji, one word which is confusing me is the unmanifested.
Unmanifested. Okay, Prabhu. Unmanifested means not come in full form. Example, let's say a child in the womb. It's come. It is life, but it is not manifested itself in full form, right? It applies to various conditions. This is one. Now, COVID, right? There is something called a period where, let's say that we all had our case. We all had a get together on the 1st, and I experienced it on the 4th, fever and symptom, 3rd or the 4th. Now it is already entered my body on 1st night, 2nd and 3rd, right? Yes or no? But yes. It's unmanifested stage. I can't see it. But on the 4th only it manifested in the form of fever, cold, throat pain. Right? So when you see it, it's manifested. When you don't, same way sin. A robber goes and robs. He's not arrested. It's not unmanifested. It is there inside. Right? Police has made a note. But he is in the process of finding the thief. Now it's unmanifested. But one day when he gets caught, he's in the jail. That time only it gets manifested. Clear? Yes, Mataji, that meaning I know it, but in our context, it is related to Bhagavad Gita. The unmanifest means the 3 modes of material nature. Yes, Prabhu. The 3 modes of material nature are in a very unmanifested state. They are not manifested still. They are still sleeping states. That means all 3 are like lines in your body. Right? I just told you, currently you are in mode of goodness. So you think, okay, I'm good. Mataji, I'm listening to Bhagavad Gita. I am in mode of goodness. The moment your friend messages you or calls you and tells, watch TV, do you understand that goodness is hit? And the passion gets up. Oh, I will watch TV. My friend has messaged, let me watch. You switch on the TV. Right? Now in the TV, you see an ad and you see a very beautiful girl and you start thinking, wow, this girl is so nice. Do I get to see for a second? Right? So what happens? Your mode of ignorance is waking up. And mode of goodness, you've forgotten. Arey, Mataji is taking class. I've completely forgotten. Something she's talking. I will now go back. Then your mode of goodness. Mohan is put attendance. Oh my God, Mohandas Prabhu is telling attendance. I will go back. No, I will watch this screen. I'm doing attendance, but I'm listening to Mataji. Mode of, so unmanifestation is each mode is unmanifested, but it doesn't mean it is not existing. It is there, but it is not. It is unmanifested. It can manifest anything. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Now it is clear.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Any other doubts? Otherwise, I will tell a story.
Mataji, I have a request.
Yes, Prabhu.
Whether we can repeat the chapter 13 because it is a very heavy chapter.
Oh, okay.
For a
Mataji,
week.
popular demand from many devotees, including me.
Chapter 13, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
We can repeat chapter 13, but I'm just wondering, if I had another session of 13, I would have merged you, but unfortunately, I'm having a session ahead. I can repeat it, Prabhu, but if you promise me that all of you have read that chapter, then I will.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, that is very
no. So if each one of you, maybe I'll give you a week's time. We will go to the next week for the chapter. And Mohandas Prabhu, in the attendance sheet, please tell that you've completed reading chapter 10. And when I get yes for all, then I will repeat this chapter. Is that fine? Does it make sense?
Yes, Mataji. It is very
Sure.
good.
Sure.
Okay,
Thanks.
Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, actually, to be very honest, today in the initial stage.
Prabhu, your voice is very feeble. I'm short of hearing.
Just a moment. Mataji, actually, what we expect from you is that from the very beginning of the class, there should be a punch from your side.
There should be a
punch. Means you aggression. What you have done after the class is over, then you came up in this session.
Prabhu, your voice, I hear this session. Okay, I hear your voice in and out, so I can't really get what you're saying.
Am I audible now?
You're audible now.
Yeah, actually what happens now, in the initial, when you started this class, it was looking like us that you was a bit lazy type. But after the session went down, then we got the punch. Yes, Radhika Mataji has come up now.
You're talking about today? Are you talking about today or always?
Today. And
Prabhu, today I'm very drained. You're right. It's not lazy. I'm totally exhausted because yesterday morning I took a class at 6. Then after that, I took advanced class at 7 o'clock. And I took another class at 8 o'clock and I finished at 10 o'clock. I'm so exhausted. So I'm totally drained. So I was just hoping, should I ask someone to read the shloka also? And I'm totally, honestly speaking, I was totally drained. So you're, I was lazy? No, I was not lazy. I woke up at 4, so I can't be lazy. But the point, what I was telling you, I was tired. I was really exhausted. So sorry about it, and thanks for the feedback. Hare Krishna.
We expect that from the class, starting from the class, it is the punch of Radhika Mataji.
Sure, I will be fully charged up, hopefully tomorrow, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, my request is kindly see this. There should not be any disturbance like on and off voice and all the things.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Mohandas Prabhu, every time when you hear disturbance, go on mute because sometimes for me, from the presentation, for me to go to mute becomes difficult.
I don't know, Mataji, whether it is any problem from your end or my end.
Because no, I'm not telling no for that. I'm telling I also heard some disturbance, two people speaking. So every time I try and go on mute when I'm out of presentation.
Not only that disturbance, Mataji, but on and off. That sometimes your voice is audible, sometimes it is not audible.
I am not very sure, Prabhu. Is everybody facing the same problem? Because when I was checking with Mona,
I didn't feel that way. It was good. Your voice is good.
Yeah, it was good for me also, Mataji.
Yeah, it was good for me as well.
Because I keep checking, and today specifically when you said, so I think probably Prabhu check your internet settings because I am in a separate room, all isolated, and only me and you all. So
maybe the problem may be my end. I will
check Prabhu. Otherwise, you can also do the recordings are getting uploaded here. Also, my one more suggestion is 13 chapter recordings are uploaded. I will take the class again, but I request you all to run through the recording as you're reading the chapter. Will you do that for me so that you have, if you can, I will take the chapter, but then if you can tell me which area, then I can highlight that. Otherwise, it will be one more recorded session. Like the same thing I will talk. You understand? If you can read and tell me, these are the verses which are very confusing or very heavy. Like in 9th chapter, specifically, there will be 2 verses. In the 4th chapter, there are certain verses like that. If you can come back on that, then it will be more clearer. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mata.
Hare Krishna. Any other doubts? Otherwise, shall I start the story or you want to hear the story tomorrow?
You can start the story.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Today modes, right? So let me just talk to you about the modes once again. Hare Krishna. So modes, what decides the modes for human being? We decide. Hare Krishna, right? So we are talking about modes, and for humans, modes are decided by ourselves, our wish, right? A karma gives us a particular body, and based on the body, our modes automatically transpires, and we circumambulate ourselves to that particular mode. So now let's talk about animals. So there is this story that there is this fight, constant fight between, and it's a actual story between Devatas and the Asuras, right? So what the Asuras do is one day when all the Devatas, or one night when all the Devatas are sleeping, the Asura come and take off this Kamadhenu cow, and they keep it, right? Because we all know this is a special kind of cow where it can give milk 24/7, and it's a very tasty nectarian milk. Now they haven't seen it, but they know for a fact that it is only Asura who's done. So they all go and tell Vishnu, our cow is missing, and we are very sure that it is Asura. So Vishnu says, okay, you're very sure, or you know? We know, and I think we are. So he says, you think or you're sure? He says, I think I'm sure. He says, you can't have thinking and sure. Make sure that you are Kamadhenu cow is found in the Asura, and then I will take a cow, right? So immediately what happens is, okay, Narayana, and they go back, right? They say, okay, Vishnu, I will go and check. So they send a owl, right? And the bat. They send a bat and to go and see, right? Now the bat has eyes, okay? So don't get confused, not material bat, spiritual world bat. So the bat is going, and the Asuras think, okay, bat, okay, what is that? It's just in a ordinary bat. So let me bribe the bat. So they give nice food for the bat and everything. And the bat sees the Kamadhenu, and it comes to Narayan, and he says, Narayana, there is no cow at all in the Asura planet. There is nothing. I cannot see any cow. So forget about our cow. There is no cow. I can't see any cow. So he says, Tatapsu, you can't see, then you'll never see. So that is why bats don't see. They are blind because they can't see is what they told. So the wish comes true, right? So they cannot see anything at all. So that's the first step. So the mode of ignorance. Now immediately our people get interested. Okay, now what we will do is we send a cat. Why do they send a bat? Because it can fly fast. So they think of another bird. So they say, okay, fine, let me send a crow, right? Because that's the next one which can fly fast. So let's send a crow and let's go and check out whether they can see the Kamadhenu. They only want someone to see. That's it. So as usual, they think, okay, we work with the bat, why not with the crow? And let's go and send a crow. So the crow went there and it sees the Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu, let me go back. They say, wait, you have nice feast. Have a nice feast. Okay, and go. So the crow gets feasted, wherever, and it eats, and it comes and it says, oh my God, I can't lie to Narayana. I can't cheat my Devatas. I can't do this. And I had a good feast, so I'm taken care. So I have to convey, do that little bit of feasting, right? And therefore he comes and he says, Narayana, I was seeing only, but the angle in which I saw, I am not very sure. It looked like a cow, but I don't think it's Kamadhenu. I'm not very sure from the way I saw it. Okay, he said, Tatapsu. So two things he gives, right? One is, it's showing a little bit of loyalty there. Then anything dead or something, let it show. So that's why you give the first feed to the crow. One, and more than that, you could see only one angle and you're not sure. So crow can see only in one angle and with only one eye. So if it sees here in this angle and in one eye, the other eye, you cannot see also. This is what was told to me by F6 teacher, and this is what is said in this in the story, where therefore the crow is short of sight, right? And now the Devatas say, okay, I think it's high time. Let's forget all this. Let me send a dog, right? Let me go and send a dog, right? So they send a dog, right? The dog goes, and the dog is very loyal, right? So he goes everywhere and he sees that. And he actually sees the Kamadhenu. He says, I will straight run to Goloka, to Narayana, and tell the demigods on the way. Okay, I'm going to tell them, oh my God, yes, I saw it, right? And it runs and it sees the milk. It's tempted, and it says, okay, I will not stop. I will run. In my running, I lick the liquor from. So it just licks the cow, the milk, and it comes, right? Just tastes, but it's not. But on its way, it's very loyal, right? So it's a little disturbed. But when it sees Narayana, he tells that, yes, I saw. But he hides the fact that he drank the milk, right? He is loyal. So he tells the truth, but he says, yes, I saw. Mostly, it's Kamadhenu only, I'm sort of sure. But he never openly admits that he drank the milk. And he says, did you get stopped? Did you get influenced by them? He says, yeah, I got, but I was very still. Right? So therefore, what he says, a dog, you will have two lives, two styles, right? You will be very loyal. You will be known as the most loyal animal in the entire world. And what will be different about you is you will also have a life where people will treat you like a king, take you to the house, and you will become the boss and they'll serve you. Alternatively, you will also be struggling at one half in the road because you tasted the nectar of the thing and you'll be running after food. You will not have food because that's what happens when you're asuric. When you get tempted with asuric prasad, your wishes can come true, but it's temporary, just like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana and all. So he goes ahead and tastes that little milk. So therefore, that's why you see dogs also get royal treatment and also get in the road. They are after the master, give me food, give me. Every street dog goes every house begging for food, and they also get kicked in many houses. Stones are thrown because of that little asuric association the dog had. That's why prasadam is so important and it purifies. Then they say, okay, finally, I know that you got the conviction, but you want a genuine thing. So we'll have a pure conviction and a pure word of mouth, right? So they decide to send the cow to them, and the cow goes and they give everything, and the cow does not stop. Straight goes to Nara and say, yes, I saw. Our Kamadhenu is there. So he says, yes, you are so pure and you are so honest. And therefore, from my loka back to your, to the place, what happens is he says, you will, to permanently, you will come back to me through the muddy, to the stomach to the garbha of the cow. So all the 33 crore devatas go inside the cow at one time. And which is why when we pray the cow, we pray the muddy, right? You pray the garbha of the cow. And not only it gives milk, but also it feeds them. And it is the house of all the 33 crore devata at one time. That is why they tell that cow is sacred and you don't cut a cow because it's a biggest sin, right? And with this, the history of mode of passion. And now we saw dog is mode of passion, and we see the cow is a mode of goodness. So we have to, with this I'll conclude. So mode of passion, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, which is Sattva-gun, Rajas, and Tamas, not only applies to human, but also to animals. So therefore, with this, I conclude this story, and Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So if there are no more things, I will conclude the chapter. Is that fine?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you want to do the Prabhupada's video? I forgot. Or is it past time? If it's past time, we can do tomorrow.
Yeah, it's 7:30. We can.
No, we'll do tomorrow, Prabhu. No problem.
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So I will end the session now. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.